Hey everybody, welcome to Black Belt Bots. Got a great show for you today. We're going to talk about engaging your community with bots. We're also probably going to touch on some of the changes that Facebook's going to be making to business pages. Had a lot of conversations over the weekend with people about this, and even went on a show earlier today talking a little bit about this. So we'll probably touch on that during the show. But before we get too deep into things, just let me introduce myself if you don't know me. My name is RJ Redden, and I am insane about bots. Why? I think that they provide a sense of conversation and community that we're not normally getting through a lot of current marketing methods, and they're just very exciting. The kind of engagement that you can get, the kind of participation that you can get. It is hard sometimes to do social media without feeling like you're spending a lot of energy shouting into a black hole. Bots take that energy that you're putting into engaging with people and return it to you tenfold. And that's why I'm so excited about them. Now, to get on to our topic of the day. Today's topic: are you engaging with your community, or are you broadcasting at them? A lot of this, this really did specifically come up because of the changes in Facebook. But with bots, you have a chance. You have a chance to reach out individually to people at scale. Remember when we used to, and I still do this, I have one coming up on Thursday, go to breakfast meetings, and communicate, hang out with, your eggs, and coffee or whatever you're drinking in the morning, and talk to people. What do you do? How long have you been doing that? Ask them questions, communicate with them, share a little bit, and then kind of, move on to the next one. That's sort of the game. It's a great thing. It's a great art. The art of being able to start a conversation. There have been times that I've shown up to those networking meetings and done really, really well. And there have been times that I have gotten real scared and talked to only people that I know and kind of, disappear from the place. And I've been there both sides. But what we're doing with the bots is good morning, hey, Jenny. Good morning. How are you? It is absolutely lovely to see you. We're talking a little bit about engaging a community through bots. Now, when I'm saying community, obviously a lot of people have Facebook groups. Great place to engage with people. But again, a place that sometimes we can get caught up in being a loudspeaker, being an announcement machine, not really being able to engage with people. It's not our fault. There are times when you reach in there and put down some good questions and try to start a conversation, and people are, you get the same people kind of engaging all the time. And that's really good. But what if you could ask those same questions of people? What if you could ask questions of people and get most people to engage in a conversation with you? The thing is, when people comment on public posts, when people answer questions, even if it's in a private Facebook group, they know that other people are going to see those answers and potentially judge them. And potentially maybe they're averse to causing conflict or participating in conflict or something like that. People are sometimes really shy about answering stuff in public or commenting stuff in public. But what if you can make it a one-on-one experience? That's what that's what this is all about. You could have a community on Facebook. You could be growing a community on YouTube. Looking at you, Jenny. You could talk about your community in terms of the folks on your email list and who are connected with your page or have a conversation with you regularly. Community can be defined in all these ways. So how could a Facebook Messenger bot help that? For me, I'm using and using them in several ways, and also helping others use these in several ways. Most of the time, people join a community, whether it's a paid community or a free community, but well defined. Sometimes people join very loosely defined communities. They do so with something in mind. They're not just randomly choosing communities to go to. They chose yours. They chose you for a reason. And so how do you capitalize on that? How do you start picking up and having a conversation with that person? For me, bots provide that avenue because I'm able to take all of the questions that I ask in public, turn around and ask them in private. I get to have a conversation with you. Bots are not automated conversation. They're facilitated conversation. Michaela Santo is here. Now it's a party. Hello, darling. Been missing you. Welcome. Welcome to the party. Anyway, so having a facilitated conversation means that the bot takes care of part of the conversation, but then you as a person are able to come in and backfill some of that conversation. People ask you a question that's not automatically routed to an answer within the bot, then it pings me and I'm able to come on and discuss what's happening with people. Boy, this gives me a heck of a lot of power as an individual. This gives me so much because now I'm not doing marketing research by going out and looking at Amazon book reviews. You know what I mean? I'm talking to people that are actually interested in what I have as products. I'm talking to those people and getting their opinions one on one. And I'm not having to set up a meeting or go to my calendar and, I don't have to do any of that. I just have to respond to questions that they're already asking me inside the bot. It is so it's so rich in information, the amount of information that you can get about the services that you're providing right now to people. How do people like it? Do people have questions about the things that you're providing? That kind of stuff is so it's really gold. It's goldenness. Anyway, moving on. So communities, big, small, well-defined, free, paid. You can use a Facebook Messenger bot to further connect with the people in your community by asking questions, by using sequences to educate people about topics that they want to know about. So you have a 7-day sequence that teaches people I have a 7-day sequence that'll teach you how to build a bot. There are different sequences that have different methods, but one of the things that you can do is use those responses that you're getting from people, the conversations that you're having, both in public and in private, and build education that your community thinks is worth having. This is an awesome opportunity. It's an awesome opportunity. Also, figuring out what they do want. Doing a short survey within a bot. Now, we all get surveys in email, don't we? We all do. And sometimes we even answer them. I know for the people that I'm connected with in my circle, I absolutely do answer that stuff every time. But a lot of the time, people bail on surveys because they look like it's too long. So I was in a little show earlier, Stephen Healy's Be Live in 5. It's a great show. Happens on Tuesdays and Thursdays, by the way. Just a couple hours before mine. It's at noon. And we were talking about how folks are really, really loath to reach outside and even, there was a man giving away tickets. He just joined our community, by the way. He was giving away tickets for a show and people wouldn't even, message him an email. It's like people are conditioned to instant gratification. So how do you turn that around? For me, using bots to do my surveys instead of using SurveyMonkey or whatever it is. The magic is this: the questions come one at a time. I wait until they're done and then I ask the next one. It is much like asking questions in a conversation. It's low pressure. People don't see, there's 10 questions. Okay, all of that kind of stuff comes to you one at a time. And I get to figure out what my audience is thinking, what the people in my groups are thinking. What can I produce for them that would be valuable for them? So if you don't know what people are thinking, get a bot. Get a bot, get a bot, get a bot. Because it is so much easier for people to answer questions just one at a time, just like you're in a direct conversation with them. Then, once you know where people are wanting to go, once you know why people have joined your group, what they expect out of your group, what do they hope to bring to the group? That's always a great question to ask in a bot as well. Once you know the answers to those questions, you can produce material that keep people engaged. Little 7-day sequence teaching whatever it is your specialty is. That's one way, right? A little bit of a training. Some people do that. Some people will do a Facebook Live, chop it up into little bits, and make a 7-day training out of it. It's a beautiful thing when it's done well. You can produce content that people really want to interact with and things that people really want to learn. That's one thing. You can also do goal setting and accountability sequences. So I just made a bunch of these templates that I have for sale. They're cool stuff. One of them is a group engagement template that will send, it's on your timing, but it'll send a goal setting message and then a follow-up message saying, did you get those things done? What got in the way? What could you maybe do better tomorrow? And then it winks out. You can send the goal setting in the morning and the check-in at night. You can send the goal setting in the morning on a Monday and send out the check-in message on a Friday night or a Sunday evening or whatever you want to do. The timing is yours, but the secret is figuring out what people are thinking. People are figuring out where people are in the process. Why'd they join your group? If it's, let's just pick it out. Let's pick out a weight loss group. Hey, it's January. Everybody's doing it. So let's pick out a weight loss group. People join your group because they feel that the community or you might have something to give them that, responds to a need that they have to shed some weight. Hey, everybody's doing it. I know I need to. Whatever. Common thing that people want. Okay. That's so general though. And especially if your group is a little bigger, how do you know what kind of message people want to hear? And what people mostly do is they kind of produce something that's generalized that they think that most people want to hear. Well, what if you're able to switch that up a little bit? What if you're able to get input from Tammy, Rosie, Mike, Bill, whoever is in your group? What if you're able to get some feedback as to exactly what you're looking for? And what if you're able to target a message and have a conversation with those people? So having people engaged in your group, it's a beautiful thing. Of course, when you have a product to sell, then people will be more amenable to looking at your stuff than, random person on the internet. You've built that know, like, and trust factor. And that's what it is. Engaging, you're asking questions, taking that feedback, tweaking your content, putting it out there for people. You're growing as you go. Bots are not a set it and forget it experience. This is something we talked about earlier too. The set it and forget it experience. In many ways, social media has wanted to become that for you. Social media has wanted to become, get this great engagement with your content through automation, where you just set the kind of posts you want and they pump out onto your page because that's what everybody does. That is the opposite of what Facebook wants you to do now. It is the opposite of getting real engagement, having real conversations with people. So much. There's so many things that you can do within a community, no matter where your community is. There's so many things that you can do to supplement what is happening in your community. Personal conversations with people, one-on-one conversations with people that you're able to hold at scale because the software is able to facilitate that for you. I'm not against automation, by the way, in any way. I'm against badly done, disconnecting automation. I am. I am against it now, and I will be against it forevermore because it is not the kind of thing that people want. Facebook. Well, let's talk about the Facebook changes. Facebook put out announcements. Mark Zuckerberg started on Thursday night, which. Mm-hmm. What an interesting time for an announcement about the Facebook changing its direction. And then I believe by the next morning, Facebook official had some stuff on its feeds about how they're going to be changing going forward. Saw a lot of panicked videos, a lot of panicked live streams the next day. Wanted to hand out decaf to everyone because it's not a bad thing. And it's not the death of Facebook pages. And it's not all of these things that they were saying. What it is a response to a lot of things that have happened on Facebook. There's a little 2-minute video that they put on one of the Facebook feed pages. I'll find it for you and post it in the comments a little later on. It talks about how people get on Facebook and they scroll and they scroll and they scroll. What are they looking for? They're looking for something they're interested in. When you scroll too much, now you're a passive user. Now, the relationship there, it doesn't give you good feelings. It gives you kind of like that kind of a feeling. Facebook doesn't want you to feel that way anymore. So they are changing their ways a little bit. They're going to promote posts off of business pages that have a lot of conversation and engagement. What are we talking about here? Conversation and engagement. It's all going back to let's connect with people personally. Let's have a little conversation with them over Messenger. Let's not depend on I'm going to make $5 million because I'm going to get a huge audience, a huge audience that knows me superficially. No, we're going back to the ways of let's develop that know, like, and trust factor one person at a time. And let's amplify our reach that way. That's what Facebook's moving toward. I love it. I mean, there are going to be some changes. It's going to be a little funky, bumpy ride, whatever. Hello, life. That's what it's all about. But in the end, I think that what we're going to end up with is a much more realistic goals and attaining those goals. Much more realistic. This is the size of audience that I really want. It's not millions and billions of people listen. It would freak me out if millions and billions of people were watching this live stream, and I think I'd act differently. I don't know. Anyway, I don't need millions and billions of people. I want to educate and engage and inspire a small group of people who are willing to take a journey with me into these bots, which I think are fascinating and amazing and super helpful. At least they have been for me. So, my friends, that is what I got for you today. I'm so happy that you're here. Please do, if you want to get involved in these bots, message me. I will hook you up. Get on my calendar, message me, send me a smoke signal. Make sure I can see it from my window. That would be great. It's time. It's time for the bot revolution now more than ever since Thursday's announcement. When they're talking about that one-on-one conversation, when they're talking about engaging real people instead of how do we play to the algorithm now? When they're talking about doing that, that inspires me. That makes me want to go forward, and it makes me want to be very interested in what Facebook's going to do next. I do want it to be more of a social network and less talking heads, talking into nowhere. I want it to be a place where I engage with people. I'm going to be using bots to that effect. If you've got a group, if you've got a community around something, if you've got a community around a show, around a program, around something that you've produced, perfect time for a bot. If you've got a Facebook community, even more perfect. They won't even have to switch platforms necessarily. If they're on a phone, they'll have to, switch between, but whatever. If you've got a community going on, there is a way to engage with them one-on-one on a scale. There's a way to collect the kind of things that you want to be able to form a deeper relationship with them, and a way to inspire people. Make them set those goals and then provide that accountability without needing to pull out your phone in the grocery store and remind Cindy at 2 o'clock. You know what I mean? The delivery is automation. After delivery, baby, that's all you, and you can do this. I can teach you how. So, that is the end of this broadcast. You can catch me every Tuesday and Thursday, 1 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. You can catch me right here or catch me in my community, the Black Belt Bots community. That's, aptly named. Join us in there. We would love to have you there. And with all of that said, my friends, I'll see you in a bot.